And welcome to the Dulcimer Crossing Wednesday LiveStream. For the first time, I'm streaming this to um, 3 different Facebook pages just to see what's going to happen, because that's a thing we can do now with how Vimeo works. Anyway, today the theme is Celtic music. I really I love Celtic music. It's the music of the Celts, the Picts, the Angles, the Welsh, the Shetlands, um, the all of the British Isles, but particularly the more north and northwest folks. Um, I know there are several people here who have chosen particular parts that they really like. I got a chance to actually play music live with a person this past weekend who's a local Irish flute player, and that was really fun. It's timely too, because starting next week, the registration's open now, but starting next week, I have several classes that I'm teaching. So I have Celtic music for hammer dulcimer. I'm going to share that one. Whoops, that's not what I was going to share. I went to the wrong place. Sorry about that. Let's go to the right place I wanted to go. And I opened the wrong tabs beforehand. There you go. So I got 3 classes that I'm teaching for Celtic music that begin next week, 6-week classes. Celtic Explorations for mountain dulcimer, hammer dulcimer, and guitar. And so I just wanted to do an overview. That's what these classes are going to be, is an overview of the Celtic music, the kinds of rhythms and tunes that show up in Celtic music. And explorations. Typing this into the chat. Hammer dulcimer. This is 3 different classes that run for 6 weeks and begin next week. I'm going to move over to the hammer dulcimer first and give some examples of some tune types. Let's move our microphone over here too, so we get a little better sound like that. That is Red Haired Boy. That's a reel, and it's in 4/4 time or simple meter. It's in common time. It's a tune type. It is a dance type, and that's one of the kinds of tunes we're going to be looking at. There's also single jigs like this. Off She Goes is an example of a single jig. It's in compound meter or 6/8 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's got that bouncy kind of feel, but it's not everything happening on every beat. You can hear there's some play, hold, da 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 da. So that is a single jig, but double jigs are something like this. So a double jig is one where we're playing on all the beats of the measure. In the B part of that tune, this is called the swallowtail jig. You can hear there was a little bit of a wait, but it happened late in the tune. Da 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 da. And if you're playing that kind of a tune, it's actually better if you alternate hands as much as possible. Now let's move over into the mountain dulcimer world, because the same things are true There. Let's see if I can go back here and have that work. There we go. That's that off she goes kind of rhythm. Now that's a double jig, but you'll notice my right hand is just going back and forth all the way across, all the time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's what I call jig strum 1. Jig strum 2 would be one, in my case, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in, out, out, in. So the easier one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What it does is mean I have to accent on the in strum as well as the out strum. Some people really struggle with that. And it takes a little bit to be more comfortable doing that. It takes some practice, like everything else. The out, in, out, in means I have to have an unbalanced strum. I have to have a really fast, quick pick. But it creates a new kind of a bouncy, lilty thing, which actually imitates the bow of a fiddler when they're doing the lilting parts of playing. So we've talked about, oh, we didn't do a reel on here. I tuned a DGD for that one. That was a tune called Elk in the Meadow that I wrote. So there it is, better in tune. That's a reel. That's Rakes of Mallow. Now, these tunes and tune types are the kind of things that I am going to be having in my classes. And landing page. Let's go back to the landing page, which lets us get to the right place. I don't need. That's what I was looking for, that one. And let's get this one. Okay. On. There's something funky going on. There we go. I don't know why. when I'm trying to share a Chrome tab, that I'm getting that thing. Here is Celtic Explorations. And let's try again and just see what happens. Oh no, I got to do something first. I want to share. Here is Hammer Dulcimer. So those are the links. These links are on the Dulcimer Crossing Facebook page. And let me pull this out. Pull that out. And pull that one out. So let's see what happens when I share a tab or a window instead of... There, that worked. Okay. So here is the page for Celtic Explorations on the hammered dulcimer. And it's a 6-week class. We're going to look at all the different tune types. I'm going to So there's some hiccups in the system right now. So we've talked about reels, we've talked about jigs, we've talked about double jigs. There are also things called slip jigs, which are in, yeah, thank you, Talon, in 9/8 time. I'm going to choose a different dulcimer. That one's got some buzzy stuff right now. I don't know why. Slip jigs are in 9/8 time, and this is a particular dance as well. They just they go in 9/8 time. They feel like they're just pulling you into next week all the time. You get done and you don't feel like you're done with the tune. Let's do that on a hammer dulcimer. So the moving between cameras is good. The sharing of screens is bad right now. Let's see. You get done, you feel like you just have to go on to the next part. So that's a characteristic of slip jigs. Then there are hornpipes. Let me start over. That's a hornpipe called the Cincinnati hornpipe. It's obviously not, yeah, Doug. It's not a Celtic tune, but it's in the style of a Celtic tune. It's got the long short rhythm. It's written in straight 4/4 time. It's played as if it's a dotted rhythm, but it's not really written that way. It's written straight. You got to know it's a hornpipe. And then we have strathspeys, which is a particular Scottish tradition, Scottish tune type, which has the snap in it. So that's a strathspey. Yeah, they're a lot of fun to dance. And they have a special kind of a hop and things in them. So we'll be looking at all these different tune types. Reels, jigs, single jigs, double jigs, and slip jigs, strathspeys, and hornpipes. That doesn't exhaust the list. There are also polkas. Let's see. I can only remember the second half of that one, so I won't do that one just yet. But there are polkas, there are waltzes, there are airs. We'll be doing some of those too. So in these classes on mountain, hammered, dulcimer, and guitar, we're going to be exploring all these. Now, we also have in Dulcimer Crossing, and I'm going to, yeah, here we go. Give you the link in the chat. Here is the, well, you're not going to be, I don't know if you'll be able to see that. This is there's a whole Celtic music series on Dulcimer Crossing. So if you're a member of Dulcimer Crossing, you already have access to these lessons. And a whole series that's focused on mountain dulcimers and hammered dulcimers. They go through all these tune types as well. In the 6-week classes that I'm teaching, everybody gets a copy of my digital book, Another paper and perfect binding, or this is actually saddle stitched. No, are they saddle stitched? Now, I didn't do anything that time. So I think there's something in the ether that's given us a problem. Um, let's see if that's what happens when it defaults to something different. I'm going to do a quick speed test and see if there's something going on in my network. Because I'm hardwired right now. It's not Wi-Fi. It's considerably lower. It's in the 400s, but it's considerably lower than normal. My download speed, the ping was low. Upload's going to be a little bit lower too. Yes, Doug, you already have it. Excellent. Playing it, that's another thing, right? So this is Celtic music. There's some people, it's not their bailiwick. It's not what they're familiar with. But one of the reasons I like to do it at this time of year is because it's preparing us to be ready with some things to play when it comes around to St. Patrick's Day in the middle of March. As Patty Amelot, who is a wonderful hammer dulcimer player and teacher from Southern California, says, Irish music is good for all year, not just St. Patrick's Day. But I like doing it this time of year because it helps us get in the vein for that. And it may not be your first thing to think about studying, but it's what I'm teaching. So if you want to be a part of that, registration is open now. I've got the links here. Are there, let's see, registration is still open for the Quarantine Festival, virtualdulcimerfest.com. And some of the classes are filling up. I'm here. I know some of mine have, and I've been hearing from other instructors that some of theirs have. We've heard from the festival that the signups were very vigorous in the first couple of days, but there's still lots. There are a lot of instructors, a lot of classes, and there's still seats open. So there is something for everyone there. That festival takes place in the first weekend in February. I did hear from some people who were at Lake Junaluska in North Carolina with Western Carolina's winter weekend. They had that for the first time in person with just a very small group of people, just 30 people. Lake Junaluska is a pretty big place. And person I talked to said everybody was respectful and there was social distancing, but it was really felt good to see people. Obviously, we're having to wait longer because of the Omicron variant, and so we just have to have more patience than we didn't have last year at this time. But I'm praying that you get opportunities to play and to let the music help carry you through anything that's difficult for you. I'm going to have to look and see what's going on with Vimeo. It may be we'll do something different for next week. I don't know. But I'm excited to have these classes to offer. I'm excited to have you join me here. And as always, this will be archived on YouTube. It'll be archived on Facebook at the Dulcimer Crossing page, and it's archived in the live events section of Dulcimer Crossing. So I wish you well. Keep picking, keep dancing, keep hammering, keep strumming, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye-bye.